Happy Sunday. Side lit again. I had the excitement the other day of being the inaugural East Suffolk Federation Women's Institute Zoom speaker, which went very well. Apart from we had to mute all microphones, we were going to just have them audible to me so that I got some sort of a bit of a laugh or a whatever else. But every time someone did laugh, they would appear on the screen and I would go off the screen. So my bunny hops in Giselle went for nothing. We had to stop and restart the little bunny hops. But apart from that, I think technically it went all right. They did want to know. Did I answer that question? I can't remember. There was a question. I thought I'd deal with the question now, and I've forgotten what it is. What was it to do with? It's to do with why the Blackpool Tower, but why I mentioned the stage at the Blackpool Tower, because we were interrupted. I'll tell you about the interruption first, because it's quite a thing. We were interrupted. They wanted to know what the banging was, and it's downstairs. I've been telling them for 5 years that their doors are not fitted properly, or they're second homers and they rent the place out. And rather than complain and go to indirectly, she's befriended me on Facebook, one of the two owners of them downstairs, and I thought I'm just gonna get hold of her directly. So I got hold of her directly, and she said, "Can you please go downstairs and discuss the issue with our current tenants and decide which of the doors they're actually..." Can you imagine that? So, hello, you don't know me from a hole in the wall. I'm upstairs. I just want you to try and decide and tell me which of these doors in here or here do you think you've been slamming the most while you've been in residence and having that commented on by the WI on Zoom. Would you like to comment? So I said, maybe I won't go and talk to your tenants. I don't think Best of Suffolk would like it either. I said, they've paid good money to come and stay on holiday, and it's not their fault that for 5 years you've decided to only oil some ball bearings in your inner doors and not... It's one of those things that you could just put pads on the doors. I said, my neighbour Oliver, he's a builder, he could do it cheaply. Oliver's furious. Please do not tell people I do things cheaply. What if I said that open the piano lid, he'll come and sing for 20 quid? All right, I said, calm down. He's got new glasses, Oliver. That's very intellectual. He's a maths genius. So I said to her on the phone, I'm not going to go down and say, let's have a survey of which doors you think you're slamming. Then she said, I don't understand why they have to go in and out so much. I don't go in and out all that number of times when I'm there. And I said, thinking she might want to treat this as a bit of a light-hearted, perhaps you could get Best of Suffolk to write into their tenancy agreement when they come, you can only go in and out of the building once every 3 hours and no more, or we want to know why. And what was the other thing? She said something else completely nuts. So don't say that, it's unkind because she might watch this. But she said, I only communicate with Best of Suffolk via email. And I thought, well, they can still tell you, tap, sort your doors out, can't they? And not... I did say to her, because she said about it, and I said, look, I used to rent the second home of my mate Marcus Lloyd down in Aldborough, and we weren't in the same building as the locals because it was a separate little cottage, but we shared a bin yard with... I said you had to be civil to anyone in the lanes around about or with whom you shared a bin yard. And I said you wouldn't have dared not, because Ethel Keane lived in Tuckaway Cottage, and Rose, what's all this noise we used to call her, lived round there. She apparently moved from Croydon with one tabard and one pair of purple mules, look at me wishing I lived in a muse, one pair of purple mules and some pink socks, ankle socks. What's all this noise? And every Friday when schools broke up, she would have the glue pot and the scissors. She used to cut the letters out with the scissors of the woman's realm, like when my uncle was sending poison pen letters to his neighbours. If you don't keep your dog quiet, I know someone who will permanently. That was helping. And I know you're fiddling the coal delivery. That was another one. And they would see him walking away from the... Anyway, so she'd make this sign and spell it wrong every year. This door does not require slamming, but it would say slaming. And she'd take it down to the post office and she'd have it laminated. But she came out with some classics to me, Rose. She said, your friend who walks like drawing compasses, that lurches. Don't let her come buffeting down the alley that I'm by, please. She can go round to the front and buffet your front, not my back shed. And also, when you arrive last thing at night, early in the next morning off the last train, can you please just be fast getting the key out of the guttering? Whoever it was the last time, it tinkle, 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 clickle, clickle, click. We sounded like an horologist. I said, what's a horologist? And she said, it's a clockmaker. Do you not know anything? You in your London, you'd have thought you known that. It sounded like going and she wandered off. Wouldn't have been stood for. My favourite venue, anyway, I was saying because of the floor in the Blackpool Tower Ballroom, it's because it's so sprung and it makes it very easy to dance upon. And one of my favourite nights there was doing the Help for Heroes ball, at which they'd done a bit of a surprise and invited one of the Royal Marines that I danced the pas de deux with in Kabul. So I got a bit tearful because I knew that when I was doing my audition bit, I had 3 boys and I was dealing with some heckling over there at the front. And I thought, someone's gone on the stage behind me. And I turned around and there was Rodders in regimentals. So I did have a bit of a tear shed moment. But before I was sent for by the stage manager to talk to a lady who'd been dancing earlier in the afternoon to the Wurlitzer and having her high tea. And she said, I've got 3 bags. I hear you're hosting this afternoon. I said, yes, I am. She said, right, in my 3 bags, I've got some mixers because I'm not paying the bar prices. I've got a bottle of vodka. God, get it right. I've got a bottle of vodka. It's because I can't edit, or I would have just redone that, but I can't edit. So you're stuck with it now. Right, let's start again with this woman. She had 3. I've got 3 bags. She's still quite northern. And in one bag, I've tried to explain to you 4 times, I've got a bottle of vodka. The point is that the bar, I might run to some mixers at the bar if you got it now. Yes, because I'm not paying the prices for the spirits, because they're more expensive than mixers if you think about it. That's one of my bags. In my other bag, I got my snacks, including some shrimp. I got them in Morecambe, and they're self-potted by myself. And in my other bag, I've got my glad rags, because I'm dressed down at the moment. And I'll thank you to tell me what you think the band is going to play later. Oh, right. I can do a 2-step to that. Oh, yes, I can. I can do my foxtrot. Really? Ah, I'll stay up and thank you. And then she went to the side of the dance floor and she pulled her dress so that it was covering most of her. And she took her crimpling tracksuit bottoms down and she pulled something up. And then she took something over it. It's like getting, your bathing costume on under your towel at Porthcawl. And then suddenly there she was in a lame number. And final detail was little silver court shoes that she put on. And she had a whale of an evening. So that's my favourite memory of the Blackpool Tower Ballroom. See you later.